Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Building with Whip. I am extremely excited today to bring this new world tour to here with y'all, and my guest today is the one and only Corrales.
Hey man, hey fWhip, hey fWhip.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me today, dude. I am so freaking excited to show up this world to you.
It is a pleasure to be here. I've seen a little bit on this part of the world, and oh my goodness, it looks absolutely fantastic and breathtaking and
Thank you,
amazing.
thank you. Yeah, this one here, this is actually the first city that I started in. It's went through a few renditions. This is for everybody on your side, this is episode 275, so I've been working in here for a little
Oh
while now.
my!
The world's almost 3 years old at this point, or it might actually be. I can't remember. It's within like the next month or two. It's turning 3 years old. But yeah, so
Holy
this
smokes!
was I originally started out being like I want to make cities and villages around the place that are dedicated around like one resource. So this one here was papyrus for like sugarcane and everything like that. So it's kind of like a Nile River, almost Egyptian inspired city, and then my own spin on all of it. So that's kind of where we got into here.
This is
And
absolutely insane.
it's been built up many times over the years. But this actually the part you're standing in right now is probably some of the oldest builds in the entire world. It all kind of started off in this area, and I absolutely love it. It's so cool to come back and walk through here and just kind of see all of the different life and everything
The
going on with
memories,
it. So
man. Memory lane.
hmm
But I guess it's kind of like the beauty of it, right? Because like you've spent so many years building this, and stuff changes. New blocks get added to Minecraft. You can just come back, revisit, and tweak, and whatnot.
oh yeah,
That
I
this is
I spend way too many hours being like, I got this new thing. Can I just go rebuild that? And it's always a struggle of like, do I build the old thing again, or do I go back and just build, or do I go build something new? But it's been really fun. It's been a lot of trial and error and learning as I go. It's really cool seeing, like you're saying, just like the evolution of everything. When I started, I don't know if you know where I. Oh, yep, right over here.
yeah, yeah.
This
Right
house
here.
here on the corner. This was actually where the whole thing started from. This was the original starter house right in here. So the whole world came from this little guy. Very
And
much humble
this is
beginnings.
and you've built everything in survival,
Yes.
or oh
Yes,
my
everything is
goodness.
everything's survival, terraforming, and all that stuff. We'll see here. You'll see shortly when I'm saying terraforming. It's a little insane. I still don't know why I spent that many hours doing this, but
That,
yes.
but I mean, look at that. I mean, it's absolutely amazing.
hmm
Obviously, do you have any like idea on how many hours you've spent in the whole like world?
I think I'm up to 77 days of playtime. So whatever that
Oh
is.
my goodness! Yes, a lot of hours.
Yeah,
And
quite
what is
quite a
this,
few
by
of
the way?
them. This was like the original palace of sorts. So whoever like the ruler of the city was here, and actually right below us is where the mob farm is. I wanted to make if I ever make a farm inside this world, I didn't want to have those giant things just floating in the sky because I feel like they're kind of ugly. They might be way more efficient, but they're
Yeah,
really ugly. So
yeah. I do
right
agree.
here
Like
under us
I
is
hate them.
actually a big old mob farm down there. So all of that stuff,
Oops.
I figured, feel free to break anything you want. This
No, no,
is
no, no,
just a
no, no, no,
backup.
no, 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 no. I'm not gonna be breaking, even though it's tempting to kind of break stuff. But let's not. Let's not.
Yeah. So,
This is
and then a
it's
recent addition,
fantastic.
actually, this one was built in the last few months because I was like, all right, this build was planned here when I was building the city originally. I was like, I'm going to build a desert gardens, something or like this, a little bit inspired by Game of Thrones. And this came over here and turned into this guy in the last few months. I like it a lot, though. One thing I've really fallen in love with recently is like tiny little custom trees and all those sorts of things. So,
Oh, you know what? I've started doing a little bit on those. Not on camera or anything, but it
hmm
does add so much. Because like the big like oak trees, my favorite love tree. Yeah, not that pretty anymore. Like doing
they're
those
a
custom
little,
trees,
they look a
man.
little bit like lollipops to me. So. Gotta
Yeah,
fix them.
kinda. Man, like the ambiance over here. Like I can't imagine that you didn't done this in like survival. This is
Lots
like
of
I mean
blocks.
fantastic.
Lots of blocks. I think
Yeah, I can just imagine.
I'm nearing in on 1 million blocks broken with a diamond pickaxe, so it's getting up there.
Oh my, oh
But
my.
yeah, one of my favorite parts about this area, if you come down here, there's these little sugarcane plantation fields of sorts. I love,
Oh my.
especially with shaders on, just walking through these guys. It's just so cool. This is like one of my favorite parts, just being down in here and like looking at the rest of the city from up above or from ground level, just seeing the skyline of all of it. It's really awesome. It's one of my favorite parts for sure.
I'm kind of speechless. This is really, really nice. And how, like, do you revisit like places? Like, let's say you need some resources. Do you come back to places and get stuff and whatnot?
Yeah,
Or
so
do you
this
have
city
like
actually
a,
has the big storage room in it. Over, if you see the little wool area with all the market stalls, there's
yep, I
actually
see.
this big old blocky thing right here. It's the storage room I've been using. It's pretty basic for a storage room, but it's done
It
the
works.
deed for it. So it's just 2 floors of chests everywhere. But this actually hasn't been the area I've been working in for quite a while now. So I've been thinking about moving the storage room, but that sounds really, really painful. Right now it's just easier to take the 3 rockets to fly back over here and get everything and go back to my project.
Yeah, could you imagine? And how big is the world like block-wise? Have you any like idea on how much?
There is a giant map that we can take a look at later. That's all just like the base map scales. It's like, I, it's a few thousand blocks in each different way right now. So it's a lot of it's a lot of stuff.
Dude, those windmills.
Those I wanted to come up with something different for like a windmill design, and these just I was playing Age of Empires 2 when they brought
This
out
is
that
so
remastered
nice.
edition. I was just like, yes, I'm taking my war elephants everywhere, and I need to get some granaries and build some more farms. I was like, wait, pause the game and left and just jumped into Minecraft and built one of those.
That is awesome. And how about the wall though? fWhip, we don't have the wall going all the way around. It's a little bit disturbing.
Yeah,
Or
it's
maybe it is.
I like to say that all
No,
these areas are still a work in progress.
a glitch
They
in the matrix.
Yeah, a little bit of a glitch here. I'm hoping to get that one finished up soon. I just have so many projects that I kind of just like, I want to focus on this today. We'll come over and focus on this one. And then I find for myself that when I build the walls around a city, that's when I'm like, all right, the city's done. So this one, I
Yeah,
don't know if I
yeah,
want to
I
call
get
it
you. I get you.
done yet. So
It's a
haven't really
beautiful
attempted
wall
that.
design though. Holy
Thank you.
smokes.
Yeah, I turned red sandstone into a little bit more of like a smoother orangey block instead of being so vibrant, so it's actually kind of like usable in sandstony builds. So
Dude, I really like it. And where does this lead? Okay, so do we have a market outside as well with beautiful like cars and whatnot? And the beauty of this is pretty much vanilla. Obviously, we can have you like texture pack or resource pack, but it's still vanilla. And
yeah,
we can
there's
have
a
a
few
car.
little tweaks and things here and there, but for the most part, I like to call it like vanilla plus. Like I'm my intent when I like change a texture on a block is never to make it into something that it's not, just kind of bring out like one of the uses people already use it for a lot of
Hmm.
the time. So like one of the big changes that I made is like these guys right over here. Like this is the note block texture. I just turned it into a crate. So figured it was something that a lot of people use
Beautiful.
them for crates already. Why not make it look a little bit like that? I don't redstone at all. Every redstone thing in here is just like me finding a tutorial online, be like, all right, that sounds good, thanks, Nembom, going from there. So
I'm pretty much the same. Like I'm terrible with redstone. I'm really terrible. Usually I just make stuff like the redstone stuff. I pretty much use that as decoration pieces. Like
yeah,
like
and they
the
make great little
repeaters
like
is gonna
blood
be.
stains if you're making a butcher or something, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's great.
What is okay? We got a bush shrine. Explain, please.
The bush.
It is a little
That
bit debatable shape wise, but
yeah,
please
that thing. I think it knew you were coming and just kind of popped up over here to honor the bush god.
the bush shrine. Oh man, I love it. And how about this? Is this like an arena? Is this a fortress? Is
Yeah,
this
so this
like
was
a
actually my original iron farm back in, or I guess 113 and below. So this was an iron farm. I took all the chests out because it doesn't work, and there's a bunch of villagers trapped in there from the old iron farm. I don't know if any have survived, but I turned it into like a gladiator style arena in here with, using some redstone inside here. So you might
man?
find a
This
few
is so
villagers
nice.
around this area, but figured I needed something in
Almost
here.
mostly
It was
dead.
just kind of a big water area, so I was like, no, it's got to be changed into something actually usable. So I figured channel the inner Russell Crowe and get a, a bit of a gladiator arena going on.
Dude, this is amazing. Where's the villagers though? I'm kind of like, do you
Um,
see bloodstains?
I think zombies got him. I think I
Ah,
got to get your safety team over here to help keep him safe. Oh no, there's one in here. This guy survived. We've got one.
He's scared. He's been crying.
Yeah,
and shaking.
he's just crying in the corner. He's like, please, I'm hiding. Leave me alone.
Oops, sorry. It is a backup, right? So we
yeah. Oh no, yeah, we're all good.
Should be fine.
So we have
This is
two ways
beautiful.
that we can go from here. We can either travel on south to that little village, and then there's a few things farther down that way, or we can travel up north to the bigger, kind of more grand area. I'll let you pick which way we're going here.
fWhip, we're not done yet. We've got this over here. Tell me about this. I like this. There's so many little bits and pieces decoration-wise.
Yeah, this was... I came over here and wanted to use pillagers. I was like, pillagers, patrols, spawn all over the world. I need to give them something. So I want to make it look like this side of the river was destroyed by pillagers. They came and raided the village, just completely destroyed things. There's fires all over the place. And then somehow they're stopped when they're trying to cross the bridge. And so we've got the village on the other side that's more built up and not destroyed.
Dude, this is like, I love like little storytelling, and that well is about becomes quite amazing, especially like when working on a world for so long time, right? Because you get all those like story pieces, story elements, like, yeah, this was this idea, this was this idea. I like it.
Yeah, I wanted to start going down this road of explaining where a lot of the mobs inside of Minecraft come from, just from a few other friends who have done some similar things. I was like, I kind of want to tackle that. And so this was kind of when 1.14 launched and everything. I was like, I've gotta make up a story about why the pillagers are here. Like, what are they doing? Or at least give them a purpose to like attach them to the world instead of those random guys that we hate wandering around the entire place, bugging us while we're building. But it worked out. I think
Is this a little windmill as well?
Yeah, this is like a little tiny one. This little tiny guy compared to those bigger ones over there. I figured
Man,
this
is
is almost
adorable.
like a little outside village something. It's a little bit connected to the city, but not quite. So just a much simpler place.
I have to say, like the trapdoors in your resource pack, absolutely love them.
Yeah,
like it's kind of cool because there's no borders, no connection borders.
Yeah, they stand alone for themselves when you like put them down by its lonesome.
No
and there's a little
way.
bit of connected texture, so when you like tile them going upwards, they'll connect.
Yeah.
So I like it.
Dude, that is so nifty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a builder myself, like I sometimes I just hate how they look in the default one. And I'm like, yeah.
Sometimes little tweaks like that, which you're like, gosh, if we could just have this one thing, and then it's always turns into, wait, just this one more thing, and then eventually it gets a little out of hand. But totally with you there on that one.
But for me, stuff like this is a complete game changer, because now you can make a whole house out of it, and it doesn't look like fugly, if you know what I mean. Like, it just looks amazing. So yeah,
I think the one thing that I'm really pushing for is I'm really hoping if Minecraft eventually will have an option for it is like the bushy leaves.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Oh, I need it. I need these inside of default. Just an option for it. That would just be perfect. They're so nice to detail with.
It is. And I mean, it's not a big thing to ask for, is it? I mean, it doesn't change much to the whole, I guess. Well, I'm not a coder, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah. It just looks so, I don't know, just looks more alive.
Yeah, totally.
More like real. And yeah, which way do we go though?
I guess we're already down this road. Why not? We can jump on down this way. The next one coming up here is actually... What was that? Sorry?
Yeah, tell me, what is this up ahead?
Up here was actually the area where I wanted to explain wandering traders. So we've got a little bit of an IKEA-themed village, as my community has started to call it. This little bit of wandering trader caravan around here. So we have some of them that, weirdly enough, never despawned. They've just kind of stuck around here the entire time. So they're over here. There's a small oasis. And one of the first fossils I ever found in the world was actually in the bottom of this ravine over here on the south side of it. This was actually a naturally generated fossil in here, that in a ravine where I was making the road going through this area, which leads to a bigger build down that way. And I just found this thing. I was like, all right, I have to terraform this and turn this into like an actual like excavation site of sorts. And it just worked out way too well to have this down here.
Dude, this is so nice. This is so neat. And the fossils, like, I'm not a professional, okay? But do they really exist in Minecraft?
Yeah, they are so rare, but they do. I think it's desert biomes and swamp biomes are the only place to find them. And even that is super rare to find them underground.
But you need to dig a little bit, right? Or how does that separate?
Yeah, they're all like that. I think this is about the highest level they can be. I don't know the technical side of the game. I just build pretty things. But I think this is about as high as it can be up on towards the surface, if anything.
This is so neat. See, that's what I mean about the storytelling. This is amazing.
Hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely awesome. And the IKEA village, I love it. Dude. I can love how they did on the spawn. Have you named them or anything? No.
No, I
They
haven't.
don't name.
They just stuck here. Like I built the village, and then like while I was building it, they just kind
They
of
just
spawned in and then never disappeared.
they just really like it. Really,
Yeah.
really like it. And have you done like the like pawn in the back? Have you done that as well, or has that been in the game?
Yeah, no, I came over. I was wanted to like in a reason for the village to be here in the middle of a desert. So like it didn't really make sense to have just a bunch of tents here. So I figured a small oasis of sorts would be able to explain like why they're here. So I kind of added that in, and I figured that that led them to excavating the area over here because they were like, well, we see these little things sticking out of the side. Let's dig down and kind of just bringing that whole story side of it into everything.
That is so nice. I mean, this is what I mean. What I mean with the leaves. Let's just look at the palm trees over here. I
Hmm.
mean, such a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish they changed because I know, like, I love my bushes. That is the number one thing I love in the game. And I mean, yeah, it's been pretty much plain from the start, from the get go. They haven't
Yeah.
really changed much now, have they? It's like,
I'm still
how
hopeful for those new biome updates that we're supposed to be getting for adding new types of bushes. I want some colorful ones. But we'll
cross
see.
my fingers, cross my fingers. However, I gotta say, like the new resource pack they've added in was 1.15 or 1.14. That is
Hmm.
like that is such a nice game changer as well. And by the
Yeah.
way, those paths, like I mean, just this little thing, how the path looks nice on the
Yeah,
sides. Love
little
it.
overlays to smooth it out a little bit more. I'm trying to get rid of a lot of those harsh lines for a lot of the blocks in the game because I feel like that makes it a little bit easier to work with like concretes and stuff. If you're, for me, I'm doing a medieval environment, so it makes a little bit more sense to have the edges a bit roughened up.
Oh my god, I see stuff in the distance. And by the way, like there's paths in between every place you've built, right? As I can see over here, is a path leading. So like you could walk the distance, right,
Hmm.
in a path.
Yeah, a big thing for me is I want a world that I can explore. If I'm ever bored, I want to be able to just take a road and just walk and find something. I don't want to have to. My big goal is like I have another hub set up so I can get around quickly. But if I want to explore, I want to be able to walk to everywhere. I don't want to have to travel thousands of blocks to like get somewhere new just to be able to see something.
Yeah, I totally understand. And I mean, just look at this. I'm speechless. Like I'm doing stuff in survival, and I'm mostly a creative builder. Like I usually build in creative back in the day,
Hmm.
and now I'm doing stuff in survival. I mean, it is such a pain. Like I
Yeah.
feel your pain, and just look at this. Like I mean,
Yeah, the I would say the
oh
most
my.
painful thing of like builds like this is because this is like obviously like a ruined castle. It's very much like rubbly and broken down. And doing that and adding in like the texture to all of it, like the cobblestone, the andesites and stones and everything in here was easily the hardest part of all of it.
I can just imagine, like especially like from for myself, like my like inventory management is terrible. Like
Oh god, yeah.
I'm so bad with it. It's like I always forget something. Need to run back and forth, back and forth, back
Yeah,
and forth.
the
It's just
Shulker Mountains get they're everywhere.
right. Man, look at the trees. This is custom trees as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah, little tiny spruce guys. I've been loving building custom trees with fences, like just using fences as like
Looks so good.
the
Looks
logs
so
for
good.
it.
Yeah.
I've been messing around doing some with like walls, like the since we have so many more walls, like the granite wall and the andesite wall actually work out pretty well if you're trying to do some trees in there too.
Haven't thought about that. Yeah.
It's a little bit
Huh.
more of like a just let it happen, but it works.
I'm just blown away. It's okay if I just fly up just to check this out from.
Totally.
Oh my. This is really really nice. Look at the bridge over here. So what's the story behind this, by the way?
This one was supposed to be like an ancient castle, like hundreds of years old type thing that was destroyed way long ago. And if you see off into the distance, it looks like it might just be outside of render distance, but way off in that way, right in opposite of where the castle is,
Mm-hmm.
there's actually the end portals over there. You see a little pillar popping up if you go close enough to it, just a little stone
Yeah.
pillar. And I was
Do you see it? Yeah.
originally I was gonna make that into like something where like this end evil force was seeping out, and maybe like the dragon escaped and destroyed this castle here. And then like there's a if you look down in the area here, there's a little outline of where a village was and some farmland with a little bit of wheat dotted around and everything like that. So it tried to make it feel like this whole village and everything here is just ancient rubble, was destroyed years and years ago, and was kind of linking it into that excavation site that we were just at with the giant skeleton, the fossil, of like something came out of the end, destroyed this place, and it was like hurt in the process, traveled up and died in the desert, which was where they then excavated out the ruins right now. So kind of connecting everything up together a little loosely like that.
Man, I love the storytelling. Dude, look at this. There's a little like mine shaft over here as well. You've built a little elevator type of scenario or deal.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
It works.
this is nice. Dude, of course it does. And I'm like, I mean, just seeing this from above, there's so much detail in it.
Yeah, this one, adding all the detail in this, of all the projects, I think like this one probably took the longest. I've been only doing this YouTube gig for full time for about 6 months now. And this one was one of the first projects I tackled when I made that leap. And it was one of the most time consuming things coming through in here and just detailing all this stuff. I was like, man, this would take me like 3 weeks to get a video done normally if I just went and did it at the normal pace I was doing. I was like, it's a good thing. I just spent all day working on it.
I'm just thinking, like, wouldn't it be just easier to build this not destroyed? Like,
it probably
like,
would have.
Yeah.
You'll see here in a little bit. I've got a few castles in this world that are already fully built and functional and everything. So I figured having one that was destroyed and different than the rest would have been kind of a cool addition. So,
nah, this is really nice.
Yeah.
Speechless, unbelievable, and amazing. So let's move on. Which way do we go?
If we keep following the roadway, there is one more build. It is a little bit of a walk down this way, though. So it is not much decorated on here. And all. We've got a few.
I just need to check out this bridge before I leave. That is nice. Like even like a little detail over here. Oh man. Sorry, come on. Sorry.
No worries, my friend. No worries.
I get so easily distracted.
Yeah, there's just a dirt pathway throughout here, so not too much to look at.
This is such a nice seed, by the way.
Yeah, no, this is the weird part is I just did the seed fWhip MC. That's all I did. Oh. I didn't pick a seed or anything because like a big thing for me is like when I play Minecraft, I just want to get in there and build. I don't want to spend hours like perfectly planning everything that I do. Like I'll figure that out when I get there. Like by default or my big thing is terraforming. So if anything looks slightly off, I'll just make it look the way I want it to. So I didn't want to pick a seed or anything like that and just kind of made it up as I'm going.
This is awesome. I do see a floated trees, which are a little bit OCDing me over here.
Yeah, I know.
But
the dark oak forest, man. Oh, what is that? What is? I didn't even notice that one. That is that would be that's a total mistake.
Ooh, I see fire on the horizon. Or maybe that is not the place we're going to. Is that it?
Yes, that is. This down here is my 1.14 village transformation. I wanted to, first time I ever wanted to mess with villagers, and the last time I ever wanted to mess with villagers all in one. I made this place down here of just working with the new 1.14 blocks and trying to make a village that actually function. So if you drop down over here, there's a little bit of a valley we can walk through.
Yep.
I think this place
is... The Valley of Death.
Hopefully not. There are a lot of berry bushes around here, so it is a little bit dangerous.
Oh, dude, I'm used to them. Bubbles, beat-ups, placing them all over the place.
I am sure.
Flipping hate them.
They look so good, though.
I know, but it hurts so bad.
Yeah.
It hurts
Beauty
so
is pain.
much.
Beauty is pain. Yeah, coming up through here, this place is absolutely surrounded by sweet berries because I want to give it like a function behind the whole thing for the villagers. Maybe are like harvesting sweet berries and whatnot. And then on the inside of it, there's a few little wheat fields so they can do their own breeding and everything in there. So it's like a fully functional village inside the gates. And it's just kind of a little bit of a switch through over here.
Come on. I just like, you know, like small details, like, you know, this oak tree which you have placed over there. Mm-hmm. Just, I don't know, just frames the picture so nicely outside the gates. I'm coming in. Oh my.
Yeah, so this one's it's a little loud in here. There's a lot of the dudes just hanging around. But this whole place is I tried to keep the style of the new villager buildings that they created and just created workstations and everything throughout this entire spot. I think this place is actually where I've done the most interiors out of any of the builds. That is one thing I am very bad about doing, but in here I tried to make it work.
Oh, I absolutely adore the windows.
Hmm.
So nice looking, especially in shaders as well. Oh man, this is nice. Really, really nice. But 76 days gameplay, right? You say.
Yeah. It's been,
It's nuts.
yeah, I the sad part is very little of that has been spent AFK. I don't like to sit around and just like let resources come in or anything like that. So like I built the mob farm and I was like, hey, well while I'm working in the area, the mob farm can do its thing and everything like that. So like inside this one we got a big old chapel, and unfortunately all of my villagers seem to be trapped up here. they they really like the
What?
bell at the top of the tower up here, so they all just kind of come up
Ah.
here and just hang out and just like we just want a view of the entire village.
Oh man, you know what? I just need to fly up because this is phenomenal. Ooh, now I see what you mean about the bushes. Okay, yeah, this is
It's
much worse than bubbles. Beat ups, places system, not as many.
It's meant to be
Oh
like almost
my!
like a vineyard of sorts. There's this little dude at a little campsite outside of the town. This guy, somehow he got stuck inside this berry bush and he just refuses to move. He's been spent there.
He's been here
He's
for like
been, yeah,
2 years.
yeah. Since I built this village, he's been here.
But at least he's alive, right? I
Hmm.
mean, obviously you're not playing on peaceful, right? So there's got to be zombies about
Yeah,
and
as
whatnot.
long as he doesn't move, I think he's safe because there's no way for a zombie to get to him because he's surrounded by berry bushes.
It had died before. This is a nice transformation. Was there anything before you built this, or there was maybe a village here before?
Yeah, this
Or
was a
did you
full
just...
village beforehand. Most of the houses that were here, I did a little bit of terraforming, like the cliffs and things, but most of the places where the houses are, and like where even the pasture for like all these little sheeps and the horse and everything over here, like that
Mhm.
was one of the pastures like by default. So I think I maybe added 1 or 2 buildings to this entire area, but everything else was just here. Like all of them were just kind of here laid out. Like I added the wall and the gatehouses and everything like that, obviously, but everything else was just kind of here on its
Damn.
lonesome. Like here's even one of the original houses that I never really got around to transforming because it was a little too far outside the village.
But can you just imagine, like a Minecraft village, see, like looking like this?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just look at the gatehouse. This is really. Oh man, can you go up in this?
From the inside, yeah, there's little ladders. Tried to make it so the villagers couldn't couldn't do much to get inside. But I
Uh,
think the ladders right over here. Here we go. This guy.
okay, I need to check this out. This is nice.
I think I
Like
left the
inspirational.
interiors of one of these blank, but it's enough. It's functional. You can walk around and see everything.
It's beautiful. I mean,
Thank you.
obviously, like this is so much inspiration for people. I hope. Just look at this,
Yeah,
man.
I even added on the little hill behind us, right
Yep.
up here. There's the little waterfall and everything. And wanted to make, obviously I needed a nether portal down here, and I didn't want to put it in the village because all my villagers would end up in the nether somehow. So we've got almost like a witch's hut up here, almost hobbity hole style, with a
Oh,
tree growing outside the top of it. And it's very, very cramped on the inside of this one, but nice little like witch's hut or something inside of here. And then that comes down, and we actually got the nether portal in here that connects into everything else. So
they
nice
see
little
me
way to
whip.
get around.
They see me nay nay. This is fWhip. This is beautiful. Absolutely nice.
Yeah, so that's actually everything to this end of the world. Most of the other stuff is actually back up towards the desert village and then heading up the other way. So
So let's move on.
yeah,
Like I'm
let's
just gonna
jump
have
on up
one
there.
more aerial shot of that. Like the wall itself. Like I mean, I'm not gonna say it's simple, but it's fairly simple. But the looks of it and the functionalities. Huh. So yeah.
I'm in the middle of a cyberpunk city right now, and it's the first time I've ever built anything with concrete. And I'm just like,
Ooh,
it's
that's so cool.
it's insane. It's been fun, but it's like, oh my god, all I'm doing is harvesting sand and gravel.
I know the feeling. Dude, look at this.
Yeah, so
Oh
this
my,
is
and
this
it
is the
just keeps
big
going.
area. Yeah, it's this is this is very big. If your frames drop here, I'm sorry. There's a lot of things going on.
Oh, they dropped ages ago. Oh my gosh. I can't believe you doing this in survival, man.
Yeah, this
Like, look
city
at this.
is absolutely massive. This has been, I think, the biggest survival project I am ever going to tackle, and yeah, this city has been what I've been working on for a lot of the time in the last few months.
Oh my goodness. Is this like is this fresh on the series, or how old is this? Because I mean, obviously it's gonna take some time to build it, right?
This
But have you been like
is
working
I've taken a few
off and
breaks from
on?
it. I usually work on it for about like 3 months or so. And then I'm like, all right, I can't handle this anymore. So I'll take a month or two off and go do a village transformation or another project around the area. And then I'll just come back and work on here for another little while. So the recent rendition of this is everything kind of on the street right here, everything on that side of it. So everything to your left is all brand new as of the last rendition.
Man, you know, like this is something I don't use much because I don't think about it. It's the campfires, the extinguished ones.
Yeah, I will say though, I got rid of that little like ash texture at the bottom
Yeah,
of
yeah,
them,
yeah.
and that makes them so much more usable for little things like this, like a wood pile. So there's a that not quite as usable in vanilla by itself, but it still works. It's still okay.
Like we had a village back. Bubbles been doing a village in season 7 or season 6,
Hmm.
but was nothing. Well, it was amazing, but it was size wise a little bit smaller.
Yeah, I think I've had a few more months than he did working on this one, so I think that's all fair.
Oh, whip, whip, whip. You know what I like? I like the pinkish roofing as well. It gives a little bit of I don't know. It
Yeah,
pops
I
out
didn't
so
want.
much.
I feel like a lot of the Minecraft cities that you look at that people make is always like one or two colors for the roof. And so in this one, I wanted to add a lot of color. I want to add a lot of variety to it and just like make it look like they're using everything that they possibly could. So there's a lot of different colors around here.
Oh my, oh my, oh my! And the beautiful castle here as well.
Yeah, so this castle was. I tried to make it like a mage castle. I want to do something with end crystals, and I realized that they are awful to build with because they explode every time something touches them or gets near them. So they've
Mm-hmm.
I've had to rebuild the front gate of the castle many times due to those end crystals exploding. I've been like working on the front, texturing it or something, and a skeleton sitting down here is like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna ruin this guy's day.
Oh, but it looks really sweet.
Hmm.
So this is the mage castle. Do
Yeah,
we
I
have
wanted to
mages
start
living inside?
the interior of this one is not quite done here.
Okay,
But
okay, okay.
yeah, so
This is
the
an
interior of this one
addition,
I
the,
haven't
the
quite
tree.
tackled besides like a little central tree and everything, but everything up above is working more or less and all that. Very expensive anvils
I
everywhere.
love the tree. You know what it reminds me? I think in Skyrim, isn't there like a house where you go in and there's a big tree in the middle of the
Yeah,
house
there's
thingy?
it's actually a little bit inspired off of there's that mage stronghold or thing in Skyrim. That's where the center of this one
Yeah,
is inspired off of.
I thought I kind of like saw it somewhere. Well, maybe not exactly the same, but just the inspiration from it.
Yeah, and then this one, I tried making like there's 4 towers here for like the different schools of the place. I can't remember what I called all the different schools and everything. And then I had like a fifth one back here for like the archmage of sorts he would be back in here, and like he had his own little private study area and place to just hang out. So that one's all back
I'm
here,
st-
and yeah.
I'm still blown away. I mean, there's so many blocks placed over here. So many blocks.
Yeah, most of everything back here. The cliffs are all terraformed. All the trees that you're standing above are all handmade and everything. And we've got a whole giant vineyard and fields, everything. This was actually, this little village right out here was another village transformation. Much different than like the original style that it had. But this one actually was sparked because I found a mending villager here and was like, all right, I got to make the place where I go visit my mending villager a lot better. So it turned into an entire village.
I whip. This is even the little like church cathedral thing over here. What
I
is
was
that as
have
a
you
bell?
yeah, it's a little custom iron bell.
Huh.
Have you looked at
So nice.
everything up in this area behind the church?
No.
Just start wandering up this way.
What is this? I haven't seen. Oh crap! It's loading.
This is my custom mountain project.
No, okay. I'm just gonna wait for this to load. Oh my goodness, dude! You're like Mr. No Lifer. Holy crap! How do you do this?
This has been along with I kind of take breaks from the city and move over to the mountains and back to the city and back to the mountains and kind of hop
No
back and forth
flipping
between
way.
these. So this is
Well,
everything
that's a
up
fun
here has
project.
been placed by hand. Snow layers and all.
This is insane. But the looks of it, I mean, how the snow just falls down like a glacier. I don't know.
Yeah,
Man.
I live in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, so there's a
Uh-huh.
huge mountain range right by me, the Cascade Mountains, and I grew up going up there skiing and everything and like just hiking and all that stuff like all year round. And so I finally was just like, you know what, I want to bring some of my home into my Minecraft world. So these are kind of modeled loosely off of those and just kind of a lot of the detail. It's very
I
dark
mean,
underneath. It's kind of
yeah, I'm just in the
it's
background.
a mob.
I mean,
It's a
just
mob
look
pit
at
down there.
this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's gonna be a fun project, I guess. There's so much to place.
Yeah, it's been a lot of work. It's a great live stream project, I've realized.
Well, yeah, it kind of makes sense, yeah. But
Just like
oh
sit down, be
my.
like, all right, I'm just gonna chat with people. They'll keep me sane. I'll spend about 3 hours, and then we go from there. But if you jump down to the front of this little village down here, this is like a Nordic inspired village. And one thing that I love about these places, a lot of things I've tried to tackle when going through these is adding like height variation. A lot of like Minecraft villages are just flat. There's maybe like a block or two
Hmm.
of variation as you're going up. So this one I tried like really making it feel like you're going up a hill. Like the village is actually built on a hill in its own. So you kind of like keep going up. And I think it just adds such a cool perspective to the area. There's just so much to see, and kind of like a lot of these trees and the structures like block the sight lines of the building. So it kind of encourages the player to like keep wandering and keep moving forward just to find new things throughout it.
Yeah, like I mean, innovations in Minecraft, they do so much.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like having like, like as you say, like a village, right? Because usually the houses tend to be same height, and not in this case, right? But if you just place like, let's say like the same height, same height of a house in different elevation, it just like I mean, it just looks so much better.
Yeah,
And in this
totally.
case, but wait, I'm kind of like want to go into this house because I like this.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to be like a mess hall, like dining hall of sorts, whatever you, whatever that would be called.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ah, this is like on a whole new level. This is also
This was
like,
such a fun project to work on. This one was really cool because as I was building the village, I was like, I can completely sculpt the terrain around here to do whatever I want with it. Like everything up here is like I can really just do whatever. So even like little side pathways and everything to get around the village. There's little hidden pathways through the trees to get up like to a forge area, or just little outhouses hidden in the back, some taverns, random statues in the area, and there's just so much.
yeah, and I mean, this is not even done yet, right? Because I do see like a little bit of
Yeah, the mountains
blueprints
are
over
gonna
here.
keep going. I'm really not sure how to keep them moving, but they're gonna keep moving over this way for sure. I don't know how far back they're gonna go at this point in time. My goal was like with this world was kind of to divide a fantasy world with like kind of orcs and goblins and dwarves and elves and everything like that away from this more kind of human based world being like with like I know there's the wizards and everything but like less magic and things over here. So I kind of wanted the mountain range to almost be like that dividing factor instead of just be like, oh well, here we moved into a different plains biome, this is where the magic stuff starts. So I want to make like a something that would actually kind of explain the difference of the areas for it.
Dude, I love it. I'm not sure you've played The Witcher, Wild Hunt, uh, but what I love about The Witcher game is that you have all those different islands
Mm-hmm.
and obviously different people and such, and it just changes so much, like the style.
Yeah,
Music even changes, and it's just I don't know, it just makes the game the best game ever made.
totally. Yeah, I've played that one a little bit. I haven't. I'm not very good at that one, so I haven't made it through too far. Something about the combat in that, I just it doesn't end well for me.
Dude, you should give it a go. You will love it. Like the story and everything is just I don't know. And I mean, this keeps on going. Like I've been speechless like from the first desert village. And how much is it left?
We've got a little bit of a. I've tried to explain a little bit where all the resources come from. So we actually wander up this way. There's a little bit of a roadway. There's this area and two more spots. They're smaller though. They're much smaller than the city.
Oh, don't worry about it. Like I got all the time in the world, but the thing is, like, I'm not sure if you've been on the Middle Earth servers, or server.
I've seen them.
From...
It's been years since I've been on there.
Huge.
Yeah.
Oh man. And
But-
this kind of gives me the same. Like, I've been impressed with that, and this one is the same kind of like style, and I'm so impressed. This is like,
Yeah.
oh,
This one for me, actually, right here, we can actually get down. If you just stand on there and go.
oh, okie dokie.
And this is this is
Hi.
where my resources come from for the mining. This is where a lot of this is a good. I've got I think one more of these that's more flushed out than this one, but this is where a lot of the stone comes from for the mountain range. I've set myself a goal of I need to mine 1 million, and then I'm finally breaking down and building an auto stone generator.
Dude, like I love it because like I'm a person where OCD triggers me a lot, and look at the torches, how beautifully they are aligned.
This under here is my mess of a storage room. Actually, over here we can check this one out. This is kind of a cool feature of it. The big sea lantern is the map of the entire world. So all the way at the bottom down here, you can see the little village remake that we did, and you can see the whole road coming up to where the ruined castle is. Everything in here. I know it's a little bit bright with the shaders, I'm sure, but
no, don't worry about it. Like over here, there's something else we need to check it out. I see some ships. Is that
yes,
that castle?
that is the first castle I built in the world, and it's honestly one of my favorite. That's gonna be a good one.
Dude, okay, so we got this is the northern village. This is the desert village. We got the beautiful city where we're at now. We got the castle ruin. We got the village modification over here, or remake. And is there anything in this part of the map?
Nothing there yet. That's kind of been. There's a gravel biome down there. That's been where I've been. That's about it.
But should we maybe make our way south then?
Yeah. Let's.
Southeast.
We're gonna be heading on out this way. We can actually follow There's one more little tiny village hidden out over there that you can't really see on the map too well that I can show you. I wanted to go with something almost like Robin Hood themed is what I've called it. Just like a village hidden in the trees on the outskirts of the city. That was it was a fun one. It was a fun little tiny project that I did a while ago.
Look at this. Is this like sorry to interrupt you? Is this like where the roads are going to be going later on, or what is that?
The cutout area is actually going to be a canal, so it's going to
be
be connecting the ocean from all the way out there to the ocean inside of here. The ocean that's actually down by the port city, the waterfront and everything. Where we're going to that next castle, that's the only waterway into that giant area. So I thought it was cool to kind of make it. I wanted to connect an area for like smaller boats to be able to get through as well. So, and I needed more stone for the mountains. So I figured this would be a good way to do it. Instead of having an area that just is all for grinding things, got to get something that works.
This is not your remake, right?
No, this is a this is a village that has went through too many Minecraft updates and has been chopped in half a few
amazing.
times.
I love it.
But there's right back over here.
That's definitely a new take on it.
Yeah, it's
on my way.
This one is where we can actually get back into that little village I was talking about. It needs to get a little bit of rework love. It's been a while since I built back here. But this one was just a tiny little spot that I needed something back here in the dark oak forest. I wanted to build something hidden in the trees. So it resulted in this little guy.
Let me just fly up. You can hardly see it.
Yeah, no, there's this little clearing here that was like, it needs a giant oak tree on top of it. That's just going to make this whole area hidden.
Dude, this is nice. And I mean, shaders. Oh, it's so much love with shaders as well.
The light rays and everything
shadows,
is just
shadows drop in and the light rays. Is there any like peeps about over this in this village, or is it just decoration?
Just kind of decoration for now. There is a little archery range going forward with that Robin Hood theme of they've got a little hidden archery range back here. So that's kind of the last little detail for this one.
Love it. Love it to bits.
So we've got that one.
You got like a beautiful enchantment.
Yeah, I couldn't deal with the purple or the blue. It was too bright. So I had to make it orange.
Yep. Love it as well. So now is the last area, right? Oh, by the way, is
Yes.
that apples on trees? Yes, it is, right?
Yeah, the dark oak
Maybe not.
leaves have a little chance to spawn some apples in them.
Ha!
Took that one from
Fantastic.
old B Dubs and had to do my own rendition of it. I was like, this is too perfect. I couldn't give this one up.
I mean, yeah, it's a very nice addition.
Hmm.
And this road continues all the way
Yes, this
to
gets
the
to our last
first
castle.
castle, which is the first castle you
Yes.
ever built on the map, right?
Hmm.
Ooh, it's coming up. This is like being in Lord of the Rings. This is so nice.
Hmm. I love this one because it's
76
just like
days.
walking through here. You get to see so much of it. I love all the fields. A big thing for me is just custom fields all over the place. They work so
Oh,
well.
dude, it's mm-hmm.
They take a long time
Mm-hmm.
to take a long time to build, but it's worth it for me.
Like I did like a small one in season 6 of Hermitcraft. Like obviously I joined very late, but I just did like a small one,
Hmm.
and I love that because I mean, yeah, the walls and everything just kind of. I don't know. It's just like the village Bubbles is making now. Like I'm so
Yeah,
I'm just envy him because of
I
the
cannot
coziness
wait to
of
see
that.
what he does there.
Oh man, Louis, absolutely nice. And the thing about that is, I'm not gonna say it's simple because it's really hard, but the medieval theme does kind of go very well with like the cozy feel of a project.
Oh, totally.
Uh,
Yeah,
if you know what I mean. It just
fireplaces
feels like
everywhere
home.
and small cramped
Yeah.
areas, and
Oh man. So this is where it all started.
this was the first castle project. Yeah. So the desert village was where I started originally, but this is kind of where I was like, all right, I'm gonna start going big.
It's fairly huge, and this area was there like any like the island wasn't there from the beginning, and you just kind of expand upon that, or how did it
Yeah,
go?
so the island was here, the little waterway was here behind it, and as I mentioned, this is the only waterway to get into this big ocean area in the center. And so I was like, all right, what it would kind of make sense to have some form of defense out here. So I figured this would make a cool spot to have a castle because I always had like that port city planned in the back of my mind and never thought I would actually be insane enough to tackle it. And now we're here. So I figured the castle was a good way to kind of get started with that of moving forward with everything. And this is really where I started to this is where I feel like I really learned like my build style.
Dude, like I've been on the Darn Reforged server where they're using Conquest
Mm-hmm.
Reforged, and you know the possibilities with all those blocks, extra blocks. It just gives you a whole different game, and seeing this, it is so close to those castles on Darwin Reforged.
Yeah, funny
Like I
enough on
mean,
that one, I actually I was on the original dev team for making Conquest Reforged, so
for real.
I am
Oh,
pretty familiar with that one.
dude, like every time I go log online over there, I'm like, hallelujah. Like I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, that thing's insane, but it's almost at the point where it's like, is this even Minecraft anymore? Like, there's just so many things. So
Yeah.
for me, like, my YouTube channel actually started out doing conquest builds because I was like, all right, I want to try and grow the community using our mod and everything like that. So I was doing a lot of builds originally with that stuff, and then kind of realized I was like, all right, I want to take this YouTube thing to the next level, and I think vanilla is going to be the way to go with it. And then brought all the building things I learned over there and picked up there and turned it into what we can do here with some vanilla blocks.
Just keep on adding details to stuff, and it usually becomes amazing in the end.
Totally.
You know, a little bit of bushes here, a tree over here, just something. And by the way, this village is got to be my favorite so far.
Yeah, it's exquisite. I think that's my best
You've
work.
made this, especially like this door over here, this door entrance. Like I mean, perfect.
It's hard to get to that level of building. I know. Even the bookshelf on the side. This one. I think this is
I
where Doc and
know.
B Dubs got the idea for their split house for the new Hermitcraft season. It's probably that guy right
Oh,
there.
it's got to be that, right? It's got to be that. Oh, fWhip. And the vessels as well. Like I've been thinking about making some ships and yachts and such, but I have such a hard time with organic
Yeah,
shapes. And look
good
at the
luck with
sail
those.
over here.
These things take so long. I would say the boats I've spent the most amount of time trying to figure out how to get these right.
Oh man. Yeah, like I mean, as the fishing nets being thrown out as well. Not thrown out. It's kind of like a patrolling vessel
Yeah,
or
this
whatever,
one is
right?
kind of. I built this out here because I want a viewing spot to look at the city, kind of as it all loads in back there. It's like I had somewhere out here where I can just hang and stare at the city, and it works out pretty well.
It's a little bit freeze framing from me over here because everything is loading. Okay,
Yeah,
stuff is
it's a
popping up in the
little
horizon.
far out, but a little far out for the shaders and everything. But it works out well enough.
I still can't believe it's a survival Minecraft and getting the shapes right like this. Just a skyline.
Hmm I'm trying.
Oh
That's
man.
what like the terrain, like the. I know we were underneath there for a second, but like the reason I'm building on the hill is just so the city doesn't look flat, so it looks like it's growing. Like, it just kind of keeps going up to the top of the hill. And this one over here, actually, I don't know if you're inside the city. There's this kind of like the one-off structure up to like the left side of the city. This is actually the last thing I actually just finished this one up yesterday, and
Oh
this is like a
man.
new manor house in the area. I want to make some giant larger house in here. Maybe some dude who was some important person lives up here.
Well, a rich person, I guess
Yeah.
I would say. This is such a brave combination as well. It works so well in this resource pack and how you mix the cobblestone with what is that, terracotta?
Yeah, white terracotta, and then I got smooth sandstone and stripped dark oak log up at the top.
And you know what I love? I love those pathways. Like, I mean, this little balcony thing. Oh, we can't reach it from here, I guess. Where do we? Okay.
Oh yeah, no, you can get in
Ow.
right here. I got
Yeah,
that floor
like
in at
so.
least.
This. Oh,
Oh, wandering
straight on the
trader came to
way.
visit.
Welcome, sir. Welcome. Oh, is that a park over here?
Yeah,
What
that's
is
gonna
it?
be like a big open square area. That brick structure over there is actually a bank. No interior on it yet, but
Oh, oh,
it was meant to be a bank, and I was gonna move my storage room underneath it, and then moving storage room sounds terrible.
yeah. That's a lot of moving. Back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, there is a park behind it though, down here along the edge of the river that kind of stretches through this area. Got a nice little greenery park area on the back. Some very manicured, made by the city with all like the stairs and everything, and then down along the water's edge is more natural
How do
park
you?
area.
Oh man. Like, this is something I've wanted like forever. Sorry, I'm in my own world over here.
Oh yeah,
Like
the overlays.
this.
Oh my gosh, the stone brick overlay is
Oh,
so good.
like what a nerdgasm. This is so nice. Like, I mean, just look at that. Man, this is nice. I'm actually gonna be doing a little dock, maybe not medieval one, but this definitely gives me a little bit of inspiration.
I would say like this big like I think it's a bulwark of sorts. I don't really know. The big stone platform like jutting out there, and then doing some
Yeah,
wood and stuff along the sides of it. It looks so much better. It just instead of having everything being wooden, having that stone to it really helps.
yeah, it does. Definitely does. Man, ships. Yeah, this is gonna be tricky. This is gonna be a tricky task for me. But I need a few. Maybe not like wooden vessels, but you know, a little bit of modern stuff happening. I
Yeah, I'll
like
be
the
keeping an eye
sail.
out on those. I gotta find some way to make a few cyberpunk boats here eventually. So it's not my area of expertise.
But are
Boats
you
one,
building
and then
that?
anything not medieval focus. I'm building that over on the Legacy SMP
Ah,
server.
okay.
I'm playing with a bunch of other folks.
Man, this is so nice. One thing I want to say is like for people watching on my point of view, do check out fWhip. How do you pronounce fWhip?
Just
Fwhip.
flip. Just flip.
Do do check out. It's gonna be link in the description below this video because this is absolutely insane. I'm
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure if I got a favorite part because there's still stuff I haven't seen. There's a windmill over here which is hiding in the way. What? What a fantastic design! Like, especially like with the grindstones. Man, I did pippa. Wow,
Yeah, that
so
was
simple, but yet amazing.
it just needed more depth to it. Windmills, like I don't like doing the big wool ones. The big wool ones are so like Minecraft like 5 years ago, I feel like, and so I wanted to find
Yeah,
something new that worked to
I've done those. Oh, this
Oh, we've
daggone
all done
houses.
those ones.
Oh yeah, like I mean, there was not much to choose from back in the day, right?
Hmm
So, oh look at this, like stuff like this. This makes me happy to see. A little like chicken coop.
One of my favorite additions, the small changes they made to Minecraft, is chickens can't jump over trapdoors. So these guys are stuck in here.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Dude.
You can get up inside their little coop and everything and hang out in there, but they can't get out.
Man, this is nice. Just such a small derpy thing, right? But it looks so good, and it just adds so much to the world.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not gonna have stuff like this because I'm building modern thingy.
You can after you finish the city, they need food somewhere, so you can go build a little modern farming area and throw in little chicken coops like this.
Ah, that is actually a clever idea. Yeah, we'll need to do something because this actually makes stuff like so much more cozy than living in a construction zone. This looks nice.
It's simple. It's simple and it works really well.
I'm terrible maybe for saying that. Like, you know, maybe this, yeah, I just like it. I like it. I like it a lot. There's something about it. It's just looks perfect. And it's definitely not the berry bushes because I hate them. I hate them so much. I always get.
They're only on the outside though, so once you're inside the walls, you don't see any.
Huh. No, this is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Like this is what I'm gonna miss because I can't do stuff like this in my project at this stage. I've been having the villagers just roaming about freely. I don't know. I love it. Thank you so much for inviting me. I've been having an absolute blast and so much inspiration. You have no idea how many screenshots I've taken. A lot of screenshots.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Kraus. I really do appreciate it. As I mentioned, it's been
no problem.
It's been awesome having you as a guest and being able to show the world off a little bit more here. So, thank you everybody else for watching and everything like that. I'm sure everybody on my side has heard of the great Corrales so far, but if you have not,
I'm not so great. I'm not so great. Not so great. But thank you so much. Thank you so much. And vice versa, I would say. Full links in the description, ladies and gentlemen. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't to us both, and we're gonna see you guys in the next video.
All right, folks. I'm sorry, Cross. I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
What?
We will catch you on the fWhip side.
I love it.
It's great. It's a great pun. It's great fun.
It is. It absolutely is.